Just how deep does the collector box market go and how valuable are these items? Stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss this. Collector boxes are going in a different direction. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thank you again for hanging out today for another video. Now, we've all recognized and realized that collector boxes are extremely expensive. Wizards of the Coast has changed the direction of collector boxes, making them a very exclusive, high-end product for players to get their hands on. And yes, that does mean that the cards inside become more expensive propositions to think about adding to your collection. It also means that every single box opened costs that much more money to get your hands on. So where does this market find itself? How many players are going after surge foils? What people are looking for older collector boxes versus the newer collector boxes? How much is the allocation of these boxes affecting the market? And just how many are out there since things really changed in 2018? So many questions, but we have a lot of the answers for today's video. Now, first off, let's remind ourselves that since Wizards of the Coast went the exclusive route, things got hyper. Super fast, super quick. People got really excited. They knew they were expensive and hard to find. Lord of the Rings was the beginning of this, but we've had other products fall in the same vein. A lot of people didn't recognize Fallout for what it was, and even more players kind of thought that maybe Final Fantasy was going to calm down. But these things and many more have changed. People's attitudes about collecting these has changed, and if you're wondering how well the market is doing, it's doing really well. First off, let's take a look at a few things here because this is where things get kind of crazy. If you look at a Lord of the Rings, just not the special edition one, not the holiday one, just the regular edition, look at the prices that still get fetched for this particular box. Look at September. This is just September. Look how many sales are here in just one screenshot of where this market is going. It shows you that players are moving this product around. They are buying it. They are accumulating boxes, knowing that the rarity is there and that feeling of ownership of collecting things, it's in human nature. Now, if you jumped over and look at, of course, Final Fantasy, the most recent of collector boxes, look at the market, guys. We are seeing sales day after day, time and again, and they're all saying the same thing. I am desirable, you want me, you know you do, and you're willing to pay the price to get it. You are willing to spend that money to get that collector box. Now, we know that now because of the exclusive nature of things like Final Fantasy and some of the newer boxes. They're a lot harder, the print runs are a lot smaller, and the value shoots up a lot quicker if you don't buy it on pre-order and if your store doesn't follow through on what you've ordered. Now, if you jumped over and took a look at Fallout, not everyone recognized the value of this set right away. I think originally they were like $5.99 a box here in Canada, and look where things have gone. Look how things have changed. Fallout is a massive IP. Really, they should have done an entire set just based on this like they should have for Warhammer 40K. And when you look at this and you say, people are really hot on this item, you're not wrong. It is big because you know what? A lot of people open the boxes. And when the boxes are less and less, well, things get changed up. If you jumped over to a newer set, something like Edge of Eternities, which just got released, right? We just had this set come out. The boxes moving in the market are at such staggering levels that I look at it and say, how can we possibly be spending this much money? It doesn't matter how. It's happening. I don't care if it's a credit card purchase. I don't care if it's an LGS subletting to get some boxes into their store from another distributor. I don't care if it's a secondary market sale. The fact is, people want the product. It's super hot, and everyone's trying to get in on these collector boxes. Now, let's keep going down this road here because even sets like Tarkir Dragonstorm, which is now, a little bit longer, right? It's a little bit older. And by the way, what an amazing pre-release. I still remember that so well. When you look at this product and you look how well it's selling, guys, it's moving at a breakneck pace. And here's the real kicker for a set like that. There's not a ton of these newer sets left at your LGS. You can't walk in and say you'd like to buy Final Fantasy. If you can, you're lucky and you're paying a premium price to get your hands on it because it's not readily available anymore. You need to go to the secondary market. You need to turn things around and say, where am I going to find a product that I want? Which means you're paying top dollar. Now, if you jumped over though and you looked at your local store, you probably be met with things like this. you are going to see that you cannot readily buy it. You're going to go product after product and see that it is sold out, it is unavailable. Now, why is it unavailable? Why can I not find the product? And when I can, look, one product available, one's left in stock, okay? And even again, that was at a higher price, right? That thing is not as cheap as it used to be. I mean, even a newer set like Edge of Eternities is not available for you to buy. It's sold out at most local stores, and again, if you can find it, you are paying a premium price. Like I just showed you guys with Tarkir Dragonstorm, it's a different ballgame. Tarkir, when it came out, was $369 Canadian a box. It's now $4.99. Edge of Eternities, when it first came out, was $410 a box. And now we're at $649 if you can find it. Again, that's a Canadian price. You're paying around $300 and change US if you can find it. It's insane to think where the market has shifted. But understanding this market does not make it any easier to get ahead of it. It just gives you a bit of an inside knowledge on where things are going. Wizards of the Coast has left a lot of table scraps available for the secondary market to enjoy. I don't know personally if that's going to continue over the long term. If Wizards considers that a loss leader because they're not ramping up production, they're keeping these things really tight. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a larger allocation for Avatar. I actually think it was too late for Spiderman. I think there's going to be a shortfall on that now that I'm getting some of the numbers in. It looks like that's going to be sold out really quick, and there won't be a lot at LGS level. It'll become a secondary market item as well, which means the prices are going to ramp up. Enjoy, everyone who got lots of it. Now, going back and taking a look at the market itself, we have to recall the past to understand where the future is going. LGSs do not have tons of money sitting there to be able to avail themselves tons of product. They can't just spend 50, 60 grand on every single Magic release. There's a budget. They have to stay within it and still pay rent, overhead, their employees, everything that goes along with owning a brick and mortar LGS. So if you didn't put a pre-order in, you may not be getting the product. Now, I understand there's been some shortfalls there where they use your money for the pre-order and then refund it back to you. That's a horrible thing. I know it happened. I'm sorry. But it's going to probably continue for those shady LGSs out there. Stick with the reputable ones you trust. Now, when we jump over though, and we look at upcoming products that we know are coming down the pipe, and we know the LGS isn't stocking these things on the shelves, they're too expensive. They've got to move the product really quick and flip things over just as quick to move into the next product. They're not going to be your base to have products sitting around. Even a large LGS will keep a very limited amount because who wants to tie up tens of thousands of dollars in every release? So we have Wizards of the Coast with tight allocation numbers. Things are selling out quickly, and they're likely going to continue to do so. And if they see a drop-off, if Wizards of the Coast probably even sees the hint that sales are slowing, they will tighten those production runs more. They will leave those table scraps for the secondary market to keep this market excited and really pumped up for the idea that you can flip these things over and make some money, realizing they're still making their back end either way. You tie this in with exceptionally well-made sets, good mechanics, decent storyline that everyone's kind of pumped about right now. You have a lot going on, not to mention the ramp up into 2026. Lorwyn, anyone? Yeah, we'll get to that in a future video, but that's what we're talking about. This is where people start thinking about, I got to get on that one, man. I'm not missing it. That's an in-house IP. It'll be cheaper, and I'm super stoked for this to be going back to the world and having a collector box available. Insanity will ensue, and it's not going to calm down anytime before Christmas. When you look at these sales, and I heard all kinds of rumors about holiday special stuff. I don't know if Wizards is doing it. I wouldn't be surprised if they find a way, and in my tinfoil hat world, they slip out the Spiderman set with the alternate art that they're putting on MTG Arena. It'd probably be pretty simplistic to do. It's just art over the same text, run through the same printers. Just saying, that'd be my tinfoil hat theory for this particular product. But going forward into the future releases, the expectations, do not expect it to slow down or calm down. Not now. You may have wallet fatigue. You might be just shutting your eyes going, this is disgusting how much money is sloshing around. But there's no reason for it to slow down, so it's going to continue. And that market staying at this peak hype level because of how they've turned the ship around to make these things that desirable tells you that if the sales are strong, the products are good. I haven't heard major quality issues. I haven't seen any myself, but I've heard the little odd stories from Tarkir Dragonstorm with no major issues affecting the product. Other than the shortfall of not being able to find it, well, you're likely going to see them sit on this for a while, continue to grow this product line. Now, a lot of you will say Wizards of the Coast, they get greedy. Eventually they're going to come for those table scraps. Yeah, that could happen. But at this moment in this time, keeping these things that rare, hard to find, and desirable puts the market playing field in a different realm of just extreme money moving, people collecting and hoarding these things and not letting go. Now, will that change? Will things shift in the future? Who knows? But if they keep making good sets, they keep the print runs really tight, I don't think that's going to change for any foreseeable future. I don't see why it would. Just like the reserve list, if there's only a finite amount of these things available, and they're well-made products that will have a long shelf life in standard and other formats, you're going to see these products be desirable and sought after at those prices. Yes, prices can shift 10, 20% either way after release. You'll see things calm down because the market moves to the next product. That doesn't mean there's not people in the background hunting down those fairly decent deals in some cases and picking that stuff up. It's insane to see how much collector box movement I've seen in the last 30 days. Is crazy. The numbers just blow my mind. Millions of dollars, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. And before I end off today's video, a reminder, if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. I put new videos out every single day. I'm looking forward to see what people say in the comments section. How do you feel about Lorwyn? Are you picking some up? Are you grabbing Avatar? What have you decided with Spider-Man? And where does this leave you with the collector box market? Thanks again, guys. Thanks for hanging out. And I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with another video. Never fear. The patrons are here. Whether you're a patron, a YouTube membership member, somebody lurking in the backdrop of my videos, chilling like a villain, hanging out, looking at the Necronomicon on page 66. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You're one of those people supporting this channel. I appreciate that. I advocate for that. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. You know what? Another day, another dollar, and another great video for Magic. See you soon. Welcome back. You're here at the Ramble Jamble. You're at the end of the video that most people forget even exists. There are a loyal few of you who know what the Ramble and the Jamble is all about. That's okay. It's not Tourette's. I just keep saying it sometimes. Now, as I swirl this cold coffee, this market is very scary to me. Seeing these sales at these numbers, seeing, if 10 boxes move in a day, it's $10,000. So if you sell 80, 90 boxes a week, that's $100,000 per collector box, but some of them sell a lot more than that. Some are moving $200,000 or $300,000 worth. That's a lot of money moving in the market. That just blows your mind a bit and says, what is going on? That is serious cash. That's Black Lotus level. That is market moving events that people are tapping into. And I don't know who's everyone doing it. Pardon my English. But it makes me think that this is just some crazy stuff. And I wonder where the rainbow ends. The pot of gold. What happens? Because those numbers, that cash flow, and it's every box. By the way, boxes not mentioned. Aether Drift, Duskmourn, Bloomburrow sales were low, but they're just hard to find. The value of them is up, but they're hard to find. Aether Drift, Carl of Manor, they're moving some boxes, but it's nothing crazy. Okay? Duskmourn is actually surprisingly doing okay. And Outlaws of Thunder Junction, doing better than I would have expected. Okay? We have a lot of market movement on everything under the sun for collector boxes. And some of those things don't have the cut production run we see today. Crazy stuff. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Gonna finish my coffee. I made some homemade pizza. We're gonna go enjoy. Yes, I know I shouldn't have it, but I'm going to because it's so good.